Whoop. Loud. Whoop. What do I do? I need YouTube. Hang on a second. What's happened? Oh, I don't need that. Good morning, everyone. If you can hear me, I'm just trying to find us online. Here we are. I think it works. Good. So, good morning, everyone. Actually, before I close, we need a belt. Is there anyone that doesn't have a belt? How many don't have a belt? Could you run downstairs for me and grab a few belts? Maybe 6 was it? Yeah, exactly. Down then to the left. Thank you so much. There's only one left there, I think. Yeah. Has she come back? No, I don't think so. Danke dir. Sie waren so versteckt. Braucht jemand noch ein Belt? There are a few. Thank you. Super. You have a belt? Okay, thank you so much. We can just place them on the ground. Thank you. Good morning, Lucy. I see you. Until one is ready, you could have all had a sleep. Finally. Welcome. How's your energy this morning? Who slept well? Okay. It was full moon last night. Full moon, apparently. I missed it this month, but I didn't sleep so good. I was waking up a lot, dreaming a lot, annoying stuff, things that keep going on your mind. Doesn't matter. Time for some yoga. Good. So, a mix of asanas this morning, a lot of expansive movements, some standing balances, some other balancing postures, hip openers, so a bit of a full range, sort of a full spectrum. So saying that, we'll dive right in. If you sit elevated on a blanket and come into a nice, comfortable, cross-legged position. So we take a few moments in silence just to settle in. And welcome ourselves to this space, this room. Welcome yourself into your body here on your yoga mat. So creating this whole environment as sacred. Time just for you. Turn your attention to the pulse of the breath wherever you feel it. And just rest your attention there for several cycles. Whether it's at your belly, your chest, the tip of your nose, or somewhere else. Just resting there in that one place for several moments. Maybe initiating Ujjayi Pranayama. Soft hearing of the sound of your breath at the back of the throat. Nice and smooth, regulating your inhale with the same length of time as your exhale. And give time for the breath to expand beyond this one place where you're focusing. Start to feel the breath ride down to your seat, to your pelvis, to the sitting bones. And ride up into the rib cage, the neck, and the crown of the head. And feeling the inhale spread across to the shoulders and down the arms into the fingers. And from the pelvis down through the legs into the feet. So reaching your breath into all corners. And can you imagine the breath reaching beyond your body, encircling your body, surrounding your body, expanding your awareness beyond your body. And can you visualize this whole space, this whole room, expanding your breath into this whole room? So as you draw your attention to this whole room, allow your breath to expand into this whole space too. And as you offer this visualization, perhaps you yourself feel lighter, more spacious, less solid, So let's exhale, draw our hands together into prayer at our heart. And with your next inhale, from your center, radiate the arms out to the sides. Keep your shoulder blades broad. And as you exhale, gather toward your center, almost touching the hands, but not quite. And we'll travel again. Inhale, radiate your arms. Don't worry if you touch someone, just say a little hello. And then gather back to your center as you exhale. Let's draw our palms facing upwards and draw our hands up towards our heart center, inhaling. And draw the palms facing down and draw them down toward the front of your pelvis, exhaling. And again, gather toward your heart center, receiving and giving. And drawing palms facing down, this downward energy, rooting, stability. Draw the back of the hands toward each other, press against each other, the fingers face down. And we'll draw the arms up above our head. Reaching up and then open the arms wide and out to the side and down as you exhale, and repeating that movement, back of the hands together, fingers face down, rising energy, communication, deep inhale, all expansive energy exhale. One last cycle, inhale, back of the hands. Reaching up, opening, exhale, all expansive. Let's ground our fingertips and bring our feet forward. Eventually it might be more comfortable to remove the blanket. And we'll take the right ankle into a cradle rock and pulse, bringing a bit of movement into the hip joint. Stay strong through the left leg, so press the left foot against an imaginary wall. Then we can ground the right foot to the outside of the left leg, grow tall as you inhale, and we twist to the right, exhale for 3 breaths. Press into the left foot and radiate through the toes. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, release that right foot, second side. So We'll pulse in. You can flex that left foot so you stay neutral, balanced through the inner and outer ankle. Deep breaths as you pulse, as you mobilize the hip joint. And then replace that left foot to the outside of the right leg. Stay strong and active through the right leg. Deep breath in and twist to the left. Exhale. 3 deep breaths. And back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Release both legs. Bend the knees. And hold behind the thighs, and we can come to balancing just behind the sitting bones. Lift through your chest with the shoulders drawing down. And as we exhale, we'll extend through the left leg. We'll do both. Inhale, extend through the right. Exhale, extend through the left. Inhale. Exhale. One more cycle. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the left leg straight. Inhale. Extend the right leg. Draw the arms parallel to the earth. Navasana. Let's wake up. Gaze to the toes. Deep breaths. Stay tall through the lower back. Lifted and open through the rib cage. Relax the forehead around the eyes. Deep breaths. Happy Saturday morning. Two more breaths. Exhale, hold the front of your shins, hug in. Rock and roll. And we come to the front of the mat into Uttanasana, exhaling. Good place to remove socks, to take jackets off. We'll dive into our sun salutations directly. And soften your knees. We'll roll up to standing. Inhaling. As your heart opens, sweep your arms out to the side and above. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Let's step the right leg back for high lunge. Sweep the arms out to the side and up. And as you exhale, the hands to the earth. Step back for plank pose. Inhale. Through your connecting vinyasa, maybe for some of you a strong chaturanga dandasana. And upward facing dog pose. And we press to downward facing dog pose. Exhale. Let's reach the right leg toward the ceiling. Deep breath in. And hug the right knee in. Round your back with support through your center. Place the foot between your hands. High lunge. Sweep the arms out to the side and above. Deep, expansive movements. Exhale your hands to the earth. Let's step forward. Inhaling. Uttanasana at the front of your mat. Exhaling. Roll up to standing, and when you feel the heart space open, bring the arms out to the side and reach up through the fingers. Dive forward for Uttanasana again. Exhaling. Left leg will step back. As you rise, reach the arms out and above, gaze up. And as you exhale, ground the hands to the earth. Steady as you step back through plank. And choose your connecting vinyasa. Maybe you want to ground the knees as you come to the earth for a cobra. And then we meet in downward facing dog pose, exhaling. Let's radiate the left leg to the ceiling. Inhale. Hug the left knee in. Really gather support around your center. And then place the foot between your hands. Big expansive movement. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale your hands to the earth. Let's step forward. Inhale. Uttanasana. Exhale. Roll yourself up to standing. Sweep the arms out to the side. And now for Utkatasana. Exhale. Sink deep down. Hands in prayer to your heart, we twist to the right. Up through center, reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, sink deep, and twist to the left. Over center, inhale, reach your arms up. And we dive forward, interlace the fingers behind you. Exhale, Uttanasana. Pause an extra breath. And then with your exhale, we'll ground the hands. Step the right leg back. Again, high lunge. Sweep the arms out to the side and up. We add a lunge twist. The hands in prayer at your heart. Lean forward and twist to the left. Exhale. Draw the shoulders down. Lift through the heart. And exhale your hands to the earth. Steady plank. Inhale. Hug the arms by the side of your waist as you bend the elbows through your connecting vinyasa to downward facing dog pose. Exhale. Let's reach the right leg toward the ceiling. Inhale, really radiate back and up. Hug the right knee and round your back and place the foot between your hands. Big expansive movements, arms out to the side and up. Hands in prayer, start to lean forward and we twist to the right. Exhale, pause. Exhale your hands to the earth. Let's step forward. Inhale, Uttanasana. Exhale. Direct Utkatasana. Sink deep and sweep your arms up. Inhale. Hands in prayer. We twist to the right. Exhale. Back through center. Inhale, reach up. Hands in prayer, sink deep and twist to the left. Inhale, Utkatasana. Dive forward, interlace the fingers behind you. Exhale, take an extra breath here. Grounding your hands to the earth as you exhale. We'll step the left leg back for high lunge. Deep breath in. Hands in prayer to your heart, lean forward and twist to the right. Exhale. Exhale your hands to the earth. Steady transition back through plank. Inhale. Slow and steady. The arms stay parallel as you bend the elbows. Draw the shoulders down in your back bend. And we meet downward facing dog pose. Exhale. Let's sweep the left leg to the ceiling. Inhale. And shifting forward. Exhale. Arms out to the side and up. And start to lean forward and we twist to the left. Exhale. Ground your hands to the earth. Let's step forward. Inhale. Uttanasana. Exhale. Utkatasana now. Inhale. Hands in prayer to your heart. We twist to the right. Exhale. Back through center. Inhale. Reach up. Open up. Exhale. Twist to the second side. Back through center. Inhale. Interlace your fingers behind you. Exhale. Dive forward. Take an extra breath. Achtung, Adho Uttanasana. Hands to the shins. Inhale. Exhale, ground your hands. Either step to plank or jump lightly to Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra or upward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose. Exhale. We'll raise the right leg toward the ceiling. Inhale. Slowly round the back, hug the right knee in, ground the foot between your hands for warrior one. Ground the back heel first, stable base, then reach up and open. Open your arms wide for warrior two. Exhale. Side warrior, left hand to the left leg, reach out and over. Inhale. Utthita Parshva Konasana. Exhale. Circle back through warrior two. Inhale. Arms wide. Exhale. Hands to the earth. Through plank. Inhale. And Chaturanga Dandasana, Cobra or Upward Facing Dog Pose. Good. Downward Facing Dog Pose. Exhale. Left leg will slowly lift and reach up. Inhale. Hug in. Really use your core as you exhale. Step the left foot forward. Ground the right heel. We open up. Inhale. Really expansive through the arms. Exhale. Open. Warrior two. Right hand to the right thigh. Reach out. Really feel into the fingertips. Exhale. Left forearm to the left thigh. Radiate the right arm over. Feel into the right fingertips. From your center, come back through warrior two. Inhale. Ground your hands to the earth. Exhale through plank. Inhale. Connect your vinyasa through to downward facing dog pose. Exhale. Option to rest or one more cycle. We'll reach the right leg to the ceiling. Inhale. Hug in, round the back. Place the foot down. Ground the left heel. And we're ready for warrior one. Warrior two, exhale. Side warrior, inhale. Utthita Parshva Konasana, exhale. Good, circle back through warrior two, inhale. Ground your hands, exhale. Steady transition, inhale. Exhale. Your back bend, inhale. Reach back, exhale. Left leg will reach up, inhale. Hug forward, exhale, ground the foot, then ground the right heel. Stable base, then you're ready to reach and open. And continue through to warrior two. Side warrior, inhale. Utthita Parshva Konasana, radiate out and over, exhale. Circle back through warrior two, inhale. Ground your hands, exhale. We'll step back, inhale. And connect it through, exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog pose. Exhale, 5 deep breaths. I assume we're warm-ish. If your breath is a little fast, just take this time in dog pose to calm the exhale, deepen the exhale. Three more deep breaths. So we have a couple of options, and when we play, just be mindful of your surroundings. So mindful of who's in front of you, mindful of who's next to you, and mindful of what's behind you, the speakers, for example. So a couple of options. You could walk your feet to your hands and pause in Uttanasana. Some of you could just jump your feet one time to your hands for Uttanasana. Wait. And others of you could practice some handstand hops. So handstand hops, if you walk your feet a little closer toward your hands, gaze to the space between your hands, rise high onto the balls of your feet, and bend your knees, keep your knees bent as you hop your hips above your shoulders. And then you play with maybe balancing for a moment or two before you come back down again. Keep the legs together so we're not splitting the legs like a scissor, but the knees stay together, the legs stay together. You press strongly through the hands and you lift up through the hips. And you could practice a few cycles. Yeah, good. Good. One more jump. If you're doing it, be careful of your space. And then we'll meet with our feet between our hands for an Uttanasana. And when we're in Uttanasana, you can make a fist with your hands to counter stretch the wrists a little. To stabilize the joint there, make a strong fist. And then you can start to mobilize the joint. You can circle the wrists, for example. If it feels fine, you could shake out the arms and the hands. And then we'll draw the feet together and come into a deep Utkatasana with our inhale. As you exhale, slowly sink a little deeper. As you inhale, lift and open. As you exhale, sink even deeper. Inhale, reach to the fingers. As you exhale, slowly sink all the way down. Ground your buttocks. Navasana, inhale. Really radiate through the legs into the toes. You can draw the arms up by the ears if you like to feel more expansive. Gaze to the toes, steady, breathe. If you ache in the lower back, bend the knees more. Exhale, hug the knees in. Take hold of your big toes with your 2 fingers around, or say between the big toes and the second toe, and your thumbs wrap around the big toe. Inhale, extend your legs up. You could choose to keep the knees bent. Exhale, we'll open the legs wide for Urdhva Konasana. See if you can avoid falling back. If you do, it really doesn't matter. Lift through the lower back, open through your heart space. Really press your toes into your fingers and your fingers into your toes. 2 more breaths. Inhale, draw the legs together. Exhale, bend your knees. Take your belt and we lay down onto our backs. So the left leg will extend to the front of your mat and really flex the left foot like you're pushing your foot into a wall. We'll recreate this in standing. So we're practicing this first in laying. If you bend the right knee and wrap the belt around the ball of the foot, and hold on to the belt as low down as you need to with the right hand, and then you can extend the right leg toward the ceiling. Now the left hand comes to the front of your pelvis, and you want to anchor down as you press into that right heel. Really extend into that left leg, press into that left foot. And you'll feel the buttocks against the earth. You'll feel the shoulder blades against the earth. The right shoulder blade against the earth. You'll feel the back of the head against the earth. So we have a nice line from the buttocks is on the ground, the shoulder blades are on the ground, the back of the head is on the ground. Left leg is extended, strong and active. So this same line we want to create when we're standing here in this same pose. So that left hand is on the front of the left hip bone. You'll feel that hip bone. Externally rotate that right leg now. So the heel, we could say the heel draws in, not out to the side yet, but just an external rotation. The heel will draw in and the toes will turn slightly out. And once you have that movement, then you can slowly open the right leg toward your 2 o'clock, not 3 o'clock, but more toward 2 o'clock. And you want to use your left hand to anchor that left side of your buttocks down to the earth so the pelvis doesn't turn. It's a rotation deep in the hip joint. Pelvis might turn slightly, but not too much. The leg will be off the ground. Yeah? It's quite strong to hold. Can you keep your shoulder blades on the ground? Can you keep the hips on the ground? Can you keep the back of your head on the ground? Yeah. One more breath. Then with strong support through your center, draw your leg back up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, you can remove the belt and hug the right knee in. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift your head off the ground as if you're hugging your forehead toward your knee. Inhale and exhale, lift the left leg off the ground. You can point the left foot just as high as you can manage without any stress through the lower back. Hug in, breathe in, and as you exhale, change your legs. So the left leg will hug in, the right leg is active. Shoulder blades are off the ground. Hug in, stay there. And now we hug both legs in. Inhale, exhale. Start to rock and roll yourself, get a bit of momentum until you can come to the front of the yoga mat for Uttanasana. And we meet at the front of the yoga mat in Uttanasana. So if you find your belt, and we roll from Uttanasana to standing. Some of you may find you actually don't need a belt if you can actually extend the right leg without, let's say, pulling the right shoulder far forward. But we use the belt, so if you want to, you can still use the belt here again. So the right knee will hug up. The left hand you can place at the front of the left hip. So the left foot is pressing into the earth. Your hips, your shoulder blades, the back of the head, all in one nice line like when we were laying down. Maintain that support as you just extend the right leg forward. So we don't want to swing the hips forward and the head back, then we would look like a banana on the ground, yes? Hips in one line with the shoulders, with the back of the head. You can slightly externally rotate that right hip as we open the right leg out to the side. Use that left hand to draw that left hip back so you're not really turning your pelvis to the side as well. Shoulders, buttocks, back of the head in line. 2 more breaths. Left hand stays on the front of the left hip, or you can hold the waist. And steady the right leg back to center. Inhale. Keep the right leg lifted. Just let the belt fall without leaning back. Hands to your waist. Hips, shoulder blades, back of the head in one line. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hug the right knee in, hips, shoulders, back of the head in one line. Beautiful. Exhale. Uttanasana. Urdhva Tadasana. Inhale. Uttanasana. Exhale. Adha Uttanasana. Inhale. Ground your hands, either step to plank or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog pose. Exhale. So we'll reach the right leg toward the ceiling. Inhale. Hug the right knee in, round the back, and exhale, place the right foot between your hands. We'll ground the hands either on blocks or directly to the earth. The back heel is off the ground, and you can choose to really lift the back heel up toward the ceiling as you fold in a forward bend over the right leg. So the right hip draws back. Your heart space is spacious. Deep breaths. If you're struggling to reach the ground, take 2 blocks and have your hands on blocks. So the left fingertips will stay on the ground. Draw the right hip back, and we'll reach the right arm toward the ceiling for a twist. So have your, just change your legs. The right leg is forward, left leg is back. Yeah. Have your weight centered over your feet so you're not leaning out onto that left hand. Try to lighten up the left hand. Yeah. So from here, Trikonasana, so the right hand will come to the inside of the right foot, maybe to a block. Start to ground the left heel first, and then we open up toward the left for Trikonasana. Come up a little higher with the right hand. Yeah. Yep. Inhale, start to bend the right knee. And as you come up for side warrior, raise the chest. You can sweep the left arm around behind you. Hold the right inner thigh and radiate the right arm out and over. Really sink down through that right sitting bone. Activate the left leg. Inhale, and as you exhale, reach the right arm out over toward the front of your mat. Option 1, the forearm to the thigh. Option 2, the hand to the earth. Option 3, bound, right arm under. Find your fingers, and from there, hug the right side of your sitting bone toward the left sitting bone. We could also say, draw the tailbone toward the left heel. The back of the right arm presses against the inner right leg as you roll your heart toward the ceiling. You could look forward, you could gaze over the right shoulder. Yeah, good. One more breath. Your hands to the inside of the right foot, start to turn to the left for Prasarita Padottanasana. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders to begin with, shoulder width apart. Really spread your fingers. And as you inhale, lean your weight forward into your hands, lifting your heels high off the ground. Maybe come into the tip of the toes. Radiate your sitting bones toward the ceiling as if you want to lift your feet off the ground and out to the side and up for standing. Handstand. Then as you exhale, ground the heels back to the earth. Let's repeat that. Inhale, bring your weight into your hands. Lift your heels high up, radiate into the sitting bones as if you want to come to a handstand, and then ground the heels to the earth. Exhale. One more. We're looking at the space between the hands. As you press into your hands, push down to lift up. Well. Exhale, lower the heels. Walk your fingers in line with your toes. Prasarita Padottanasana. Hang forward. You can use your hands actively. If you press down and energetically forward, that will help to draw your chest more underneath your body. The elbows draw back, parallel to each other. One more deep breath. And inhale, walk your hands forward in front of your body. Look down, but reach your heart forward. And then turn to the front of your yoga mat for a low lunge. And from low lunge, direct Ardha Hanuman, drawing the hips back. Eventually, your hands could be on blocks. So Ardha Hanuman, the right leg is active. Toes radiate to the ceiling. And we're folding over that right leg. One more deep breath. Let's inhale, come into low lunge. Either stay in a low lunge, or you could choose to bend the left knee and reach back with the right hand and draw the heel toward the buttocks simply for some breaths. If you can't actually reach the foot, we have belts. You could actually place the belt. You have it. You could place the belt around the back of the foot and hold on to the belt with your hand. So breathe into the front of that left thigh. One more breath. Slowly release that left foot. Back to Ardha Hanuman, option 1. Or option 2, you could slide the right foot forward as you slide the left leg back for Hanumanasana. You could eventually place the back of the right thigh on a block or 2. You could also, as another option, have a bolster right underneath the pelvis. No. And if you're well supported on something, you could choose to raise the chest and reach the arms up by the ears for full expansive variation. Draw the front of the left thigh toward the earth. Pad up yourself as much as you need to, or come to the first variation, the Ardha Hanuman. Another 3 full breaths. And then you can exhale and ground your hands to the earth. Tuck the left toes under. Push strongly into your hands and suck the right leg back and steadily up direct for dog pose split. Strong transition. Exhale, hug the right knee in underneath your body, ground the foot between your hands. And then from there, the left knee will come to the outside of that right foot, and we sit down for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Either sit on a blanket to balance out the pelvis, or sit directly to the earth. The right sitting bone is anchored down. Grow tall as you inhale, and then we twist to the right as we exhale. That's it. So press that right foot into the earth. Spread the toes and anchor down through the root of that right big toe to the earth. You use that as a reference point. You can use your sitting bones as a reference point. You can use your fingers as a reference point to the earth. From there, to extend and to open. And have that nice balance between the earth and space around you. So option to stay here, or again, be mindful of the space around and behind you. Some of you might like to go to Ekapada Kundinyasana, an arm balance. The left arm reaches to the outside of that right leg all the way. And then your hands will ground down left and right of your left foot. Hands are shoulder width apart. Have your hands here and here. Genau. As you bend the elbows, you lean into your hands and you use the right arm as a bridge of support for the right side of your waist. And you use your left arm as a bridge of support for the left leg. And as you lean out, you might choose to keep the legs bent, especially if there's someone behind you. Or you could straighten that left leg back and the right leg out to the side. Beautiful. Theoretically, your head is off the ground, but there's a lovely variation grounding the outer right head to the earth if you need to. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Like a seesaw, lean into your hands, yes, and the feet will come off. See if you can come back directly to Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you need to hug your knees in and see if you can feel where to place your legs so that you're back in Ardha Matsyendrasana. And we twist again to the right as we exhale. Yeah. And then come back to center. Inhale, keep your feet as they are. Just twist your upper body to the left, exhale. Sitting bones ground down. And come back to center, inhaling. Release your legs for Navasana. Exhaling, legs up, arms parallel to the earth. Gaze to the toes. If you need to, bend the knees. So create, even as you reach the arms forward, create space across the collarbones to the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Good. Bend the knees so you can take the big toes of the 2 fingers and thumbs. Inhale, exhale, extend the legs, or keep them bent. Inhale, exhale, open the legs wide, Urdhva Konasana. Wow, we're all really balanced this cycle. Good, inhale, draw your legs together. Exhale, bend your knees. Find your belt, and we come to lay on our backs. The right leg is straight, flex into the right foot. We strap the belt around the ball of the left foot. Hold the belt as deep down as you need to so you can extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. Hold it with the left hand so you can place your right hand on the front of that right hip. So feel the buttocks in contact, shoulder blades in contact, the back of your head. And really flex that right foot as if you're touching the foot against a wall. Push, push my foot. Yeah, genau. Use a belt so you can ground the left shoulder blade to the earth. Couple more breaths. Genau. And then draw the left shoulder blade down to the earth. Yeah, genau. And as you exhale, external rotation at the left hip joint. And then you can open the left leg out to the side more toward your 8 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Use your right hand to press that right hip down. That's it, good. Shoulder blades on the ground, buttocks, back of the head is on the ground. Keep remembering that right leg and the foot. And then strong center, inhale, draw the leg facing back up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, bend the left knee. You can release the belt and hug the left knee in toward your chest. You can point the feet, and with your exhale, lift your shoulder blades off the ground. With your next exhale, you can lift the right leg off the ground. Now keep the right leg straight. Keep hugging the left knee in. Hug in, breathe, pause. And now change. Inhale, exhale, hug in, pause. Steady. You could actually hold around the shin unless it's not fine for the knee. Yeah. Yeah. Hug both knees in. Inhale. Exhale. Start to get a bit of momentum, rocking back and forward until you come to the front of the yoga mat in Uttanasana. exhaling. And then gradually roll up to standing if your belt's nearby. You can grab it before you roll up or once you've rolled up. So a steady gaze to the earth, use a belt, or if you find you can manage, hold in with the fingers, but maintaining the buttocks, the shoulder blades in line. So hug the left knee in, the right hand can hold the right waist. Push into that right foot, grow tall into the crown of your head, deep inhale. And without leaning your hips forward, you could even very subtly draw the hips back as you extend the left leg forward. Draw the left shoulder back, to touch my hand. Tough. Yeah. So without leaning back, start to draw the left leg out to the side, not directly towards 9 o'clock, but a little higher up toward 10 if you can. It's a deep external rotation at the hip joint. Pelvis stays stable. Good. One more breath. Inhale, draw the left leg forward. You can release the belt, hands to the waist. Exhale without leaning back. Some of you have suddenly leaned back. You're leaning back? Yeah, good. Without leaning back. Without leaning back, hips back. Yes, good. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, hug the left knee up. Press the right foot into the earth. Ooh, and we're ready for Tadasana. Exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Tadasana. Press through the feet and reach into the fingertips. Maybe look up. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Exhale, ground your hands, either step or jump through plank to Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhaling. Cobra or upward facing dog pose. Good. Inhaling. Downward facing dog pose. Exhaling. So we'll radiate the left leg to the ceiling. Inhaling. The left foot will step to the left hand. Exhaling, maybe your hands on blocks. The right heel can lift high up toward the ceiling as you come into a forward bend over the left leg. So both legs are extended. The left hip draws back. Now left hip lifts. Yeah. Good. The right hand to the earth or to a block. You'll get more height if you place the hand on a block. As you reach the left arm toward the ceiling for a twist. Draw the left hip back and reach your heart forward. You could also have your left hand to the waist if it's more comfortable for you. You could have the left hand to the waist. Again, not too much pressure into that right hand. Let's change it around now for Trikonasana, the left hand to the inside of that left foot, maybe onto the shin instead, so you're higher up. Ground the back here. And slowly open up. Come a little higher up with the left hand, higher up here. Yeah, genau. Good. Let's start to bend the left knee. Sweep the right hand to the right waist. Lift your chest up. So for side warrior, lift your chest all the way up. Bring the right hand around behind you. Take hold of the left thigh as you draw the left arm over. Side warrior. Inhale. And with your exhale, you can keep the right hand where it is. First, reach the left arm to the front of the mat. Really radiate. Then option forearm to the thigh, or a hand to the inside of the left foot, or maybe the full bound variation. Draw the left sitting bone toward the right sitting bone. We could also say the tailbone toward the right heel. And as you do this action, roll your heart toward the ceiling. 3 more deep breaths. And then with your next exhale, ground your hands to the inside of the left foot, and we turn to the right for Prasarita Padottanasana. And walk your hands in underneath the shoulders. Have the hands shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers. Draw the hands further forward. And then as you inhale, look between your hands and start to lift high onto the balls of your feet. Press through the hands, lift through the sitting bones. And maybe drift your feet slightly off the ground. And then ground the heels to the earth. Exhale. Press into the hands. Inhale. Come as high onto the tiptoes as you can. Reach the sitting bones toward the ceiling. You could have your hands a bit closer toward you. Exhale. Ground your heels to the earth. Yeah, hands underneath the shoulders here. Yeah, again now. Inhale. One more time. Push through the hands. Yeah, that's it. Lift through the hips. Reach up. Yeah, and exhale, ground down. Walk your toes, your fingers in line with your toes. If you press into your hands, open your heart and look forward. In this variation, hands press down and energetically back as you open your heart forward. Then as you exhale, hands press down and energetically forward as you draw your chest down in underneath between your legs. 3 more deep breaths. And walk your hands forward in front of your body. Inhale. Then turn to the front of your yoga mat. Exhale, low lunge. Ground the right knee from low lunge, Ardha Hanuman. The hips will draw back. Eventually your hands to blocks. And fold over the left leg. So you can use the earth wisely here to balance out your hips. If you press into the right knee, you'll be able to lift the left hip toward the ceiling. If you press into the left heel strongly, the right hip will lift toward the ceiling. So you use the earth to balance out the pelvis. You can actually do that. Press into the knee, lift the left hip. Press into the right heel, lift the left heel, lift the right hip. Right knee, left hip. Do you understand what I mean? Anyone know? Because it's important. No? Okay. Have a look here. We can look at my hips. So, if I press strongly into that right knee, the left hip will lift. You see that? If I press into the left heel, I'm pushing the earth back and the right hip will lift. So you can use that earth support to balance out the pelvis. Often this happens. The left hip will sag and we collapse into the earth. Whereas if you use the earth wisely to your benefit, you can feel a spring that radiates and creates space and support. Huh? One last breath. Okay, let's come into low lunge. And then bend the right knee and take hold with the left hand over the front of the right foot and draw the heel toward the buttocks. And that principle applies to every pose. If you have the buoyancy to the earth, you can align yourself in space much more lightly. Energy flows. Yeah. Two more breaths. So either back to Ardha Hanuman, you can play with shifting your pelvis, or we come to full Hanumanasana. As you slide the left leg forward, remember there's your right leg. You can slide the right leg back too. Maybe a couple of blocks underneath that left thigh. So roll the front of the right thigh toward the earth, the front of the right foot toward the earth. That's the challenge, yeah? Among other things. If you're well supported, then you could choose to reach your arms up. So if you feel the connection where the parts of your body connect to the earth, exhale and feel into those parts. And then as you inhale, give a little lightness from the earth up and feel that energy radiate all the way into the fingers. And then you have a perfect balance between earth and sky. We're not too heavy, we're not too light, we're balanced. Another deep breath. And ground your hands to the earth. We'll tuck the right toes under. Come in slowly, slowly to dog pose. Radiate the left leg to the ceiling. Easy does it with that transition. It's strong. And the left foot will come between your hands as you exhale. The left foot grounds down. And then the right knee comes to the outside of the left foot for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Right knee behind to the outside of the left foot. Sit down between your feet with a blanket maybe. Grow tall, inhale. And some of you are ready, direct. We'll twist to the left, exhaling. So feel into parts of your body that are connected to the ground. Exhale, and from there use the inhale, the rebound, to create space. So we're not too heavy, and we're not too light and springy and forget the earth. Heavy weight is like sloth. We're lazy. We don't want to get up in the morning. We don't have a spring in our step. If we have too much air, we maybe find it hard to concentrate. We go from one thing to the other, flitting around like a butterfly. And when we have the balance, we're calm. So some of you maybe want to stay here another breath or two, or some of you maybe go arm balance. So the hands ground down left and right of that right foot. The right arm strongly anchors to the outside of the left leg, and that's a bridge of support. And as you lean forward, that left elbow will come to the left side waist. Lean into your hands, but you get a little spring by supporting through your center, by opening through the rib cage as best as possible. Hug your legs in, and the option to extend the left leg out to the side and the right leg back. And see if you can recreate Ardha Matsyendrasana by bending the knees. Right leg under, left leg over. Come back to a twist to the left for 2 breaths. And then over center, inhale to a twist to the right. for 2 to 3 breaths. And we can come back to center inhale and open our legs wide for Upavishta Konasana. Maybe zigzag yourself on your mat, maybe sit on the edge of a folded blanket. So you're more toward the front edge of your sitting bone. Extend into the heels, your feet are flexed. And grow tall, so actively press through the sitting bones and grow tall into the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, we'll twist to the right. So we twist over the right leg. Breathe in, gaze toward the right toes, and as you exhale, we fold forward, drawing the shoulder blades parallel toward the earth. If it's really challenging for you, bend the knees a little. It will give you a little more mobility. Just another 3 breaths. And slowly raise your chest, inhale. Center, and as you exhale to the left leg, grow tall first, inhale. And then as you exhale, so balance your shoulders toward the earth. You can gaze toward the left toes or just extend the crown of your head toward or beyond the left foot. Another 2 breaths. And raise your chest with your inhale, center now. Grow tall, inhale. For sure you can stay upright, or you can start to ground your hands, start to edge yourself forward and down toward the earth. Pause at your first resistance and just breathe there, create space through the front of your body. Of course, you could rest your forearms on blocks or a bolster. Lift up through here, so draw back through here, and lift up through here. Yeah, stay about there. Deep, long exhale. Two more breaths. And slowly walk your hands back to your center. Grow tall first. Feel the springiness through the spine as you actively ground through the sitting bones and roll or sweep your attention up into the crown of your head. No! Lean back into your hands. Bend your knees, draw the legs together. Have a block nearby, have a belt nearby. Before we lay down, I'd love for you just to measure first a belt so that when you bring your legs a good hip width apart, maybe slightly wider would be more comfortable for many of you. And then you can take the belt off once you've measured that. Once you've measured that, then take a block. And as you lay down, we'll place the block on the second orientation, so the second skinniest, between the thighs just above the knees. And we lay down in bridge pose. So if you bring your arms down by your sides, you can draw the heels in, and maybe you can graze your heels with your fingers. Lengthen into the tailbone. Squeeze the block with your inner upper thighs. And with your inhale, start to lift the hips for bridge pose. You can interlace your fingers then in underneath your body and roll the shoulder blades toward each other. The more you squeeze the buttocks, the less grip you'll have with the block. So think of relaxing more the buttocks and squeezing the block instead. Just relax your legs. Yeah, now squeeze. Yeah. Two more breaths. And you can release the arms, spread across the shoulder blades and slowly lower down. You can remove the block, and now we use the belt around the outer legs. Feels a little different, but feels really nice. So I would make the belt wider. Just a bit wider. So your feet are good hip width apart. Yeah. And then we can come back to bridge pose and see how that feels. So the belt is, say, maximum halfway down your legs. Not directly behind the knees, but halfway down the legs. I would bring the belt wider so your feet are a bit further apart. Yeah, genau. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. Yeah. Feel how that is as you press your legs against the belt. Another breath. And if you've interlaced the fingers, you can release the fingers and slowly lower down. Keep the belt where it is. Some of you won't want to go to the next pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Some of you will, and you can keep the belt around you as you open into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So really nice variation or accompanying support. So if you go to Urdhva Dhanurasana, the arms reach up toward the ceiling, and then you bend the elbows and the fingertips brush underneath the shoulders. The elbows draw up toward the ceiling. Just like in bridge pose, raise the hips first. And then as you exhale, you could choose to come to the crown of the head first. Maybe readjust the hands, or the elbows more toward each other. And then push into the feet and hands. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. You got to. Good. Press into the feet. Press into the feet. You could choose to lift the heels and then press into the balls of your feet. It feels a bit different with a belt. You need to get used to that feeling first. Yeah? It does, doesn't it? If you want to come down, you look up toward the ceiling and then start to bend the elbows and then come to the back of the shoulders. Did you like that with the belt? No? There's some shake of the head, some yes. Yeah. The first time I was told to use a block in the yoga class, I hated it. And then I slowly get to love it. So keep the belt as it is so you don't hug your knees in straight away toward your chest, but we take a twist first. So you can just leave the belt as it is and let your knees come to the right side, the hips a bit to the left. Just leave the belt there, doesn't matter. We'll change sides, rolling over center, inhaling. To the second side, exhaling. And then we'll slowly come back to center, inhaling. And then you can hug your knees into your chest, and then you can remove the belt as you exhale. And hug in and ascend your exhale deep down into the lower back, deeper down into the hip joints. Send your exhale up into the shoulder blades and feel them descending, supported by the earth. So, Shavasana. If you would feel like a little passive inversion, there's a lot of wall space. Some of you are quite close to a wall. You could shift your mat to a wall and put your legs up for Shavasana, for Viparita Karani instead of Shavasana. You could use a pillar. Take a full deep breath in and a long, smooth, deep breath out. If you're wearing glasses, maybe take them off for Shavasana. Take another full, deep breath in and a small, slow, steady, deep breath out. One more slow and steady, deep breath in. And a slow and steady, deep breath out. Feel all the parts of your body connected, grounded to the earth. And completely surrender your weight into the earth with your exhale. Breathe into the space between your ears. Feel the space between your ears. Inside your head. Travel down inside the area of your neck and feel the spaciousness there. And down into the space, taking up the lungs and the heart, across to the shoulders. Breathe into the spaciousness there. And the spaciousness inside your arms, sweeping down to your hands and your fingers. Breathe into the space at your waist, belly and lower back, the space between. Down into your hips, feel the space of the pelvis. And simultaneously sweeping down the spaciousness inside your legs, sweeping down your attention into the ankles and the feet and the toes. Feel the spaciousness of your whole body. The spaciousness inside your whole body. And around your body. Feel the spaciousness around your body, encircling your body. Open your attention into the spaciousness of this room. Expanding your attention into all corners, the ground, the ceiling, the space between. Feel yourself radiate into this spaciousness of this room. Breathe into the spaciousness around and beyond into this room. Come back to just feeling the spaciousness inside your body. Breathe down through the arms, into the fingers, and start to bring some movement there into the fingers. Breathe down through your legs, into the toes, and start to bring some movement there. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Start to bend your knees and roll over to one side. Still feeling the spaciousness of your body as you pause here on your side. And roll steadily back to sitting. Take a moment to press down through the sitting bones, feel the parts of your legs in contact with the earth. And feel that springiness, the support from the ground to lift effortlessly up through the spine, to broaden into the shoulders, to softly reach the crown of the head toward the ceiling effortlessly because you have that beautiful support of the ground. With that nice bouncy support of the earth, there's a less effort that we need to stand, to move in life. Breathe into the space of your body, around and in this room. Feel the lightness of your being. And let that radiate into every word, every action, every thought. Bring your hands together into prayer. Thank yourself for your effort this morning to come to your mat, to be, to explore. And may that ripple into the rest of your day. Namaste. Dankeschön. I wish you a beautiful weekend and see you soon. Dankeschön. It's nice to see everyone. Have an amazing day. Danke. Danke, Christina. Dankeschön. Maybe if you can open the belt up a little wider so they don't hang to the ground, that would be great. Danke, online yogis. Some of you are still here. Super. Danke, Lissy. Hey, this is the last online for some time. So come to class. I have a little pause, see how it goes. If that upsets you, send me regular reminders to put it on again. Dankeschön.